America.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. America. Reminds me of the. Do you remember what was it? The Mandarin. That was his name in Iron Man 3. Remember how I said America?
Not right offhand.
No. Someone else does. Someone will watch this and be like, I understood that reference. It'll be a win, I swear. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's Friday. It's 8 a.m. Central. And we're back again on our home team talking about, well, teams. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, we're getting into, well, some of us. Well, I think it was only Catherine and I that did the forums.
I did the forums? What are you talking about?
Or did you do it last second?
No, I did it yesterday afternoon.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything.
I did it.
Then
your system's broken.
Oh, yeah? So it just worked for everybody else but you.
The system's broken.
It's probably a case of you didn't hit submit again.
No, I did it. I did it.
The survey says that was a lie. Anyway, every week we get together and we just talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of running, building, growing, scaling, expanding a real estate team. So
in America.
And what?
In America. We're expanding the real estate team in America and beyond.
I mean, until we expand it into Canada and everywhere else.
It's already in Canada. We're in Canada. We have agents in Canada.
Not on our home team. Get out of here.
I have the greater team.
The greater team. That's the name of his team.
Greater American.
My team can boot up your team.
The Greater American Team of America.
Greater America Team of America. Because really, every country is just a country under America. Chris. Anyway, let's get this party started. So obviously Chris didn't do it.
I didn't
do it. Where's the proof?
Well, he can go first then. He's prepared.
That's right. You're prepared, Chris.
That doesn't mean I'm prepared. Doesn't mean I remember what I put. There's a difference here.
Listen, I'm ready for the test. Great. Here's the test. Oh, I didn't say I was ready. All right, Chris, why don't you start us off, though? Anyway, what's one problem, issue, what you might call it, that you faced with the team this week?
I actually put on there that I really didn't have any significant problems. It's like...
Are you even team leading then?
Yes. So I wouldn't call any of it problems. It's like some of the agents are deciding to show up now. They're like deciding that they actually want to work. It only took 6 months, but they're deciding that they want to work now. And I'm like, all right, you guys are ready to like kind of grind it out. And you're realizing that it's just not going to fall from the sky. I think for the first time, like everybody's kind of gathering together around that thought process in the same week.
So I got to ask then, kind of switch it up a little bit. Why do you think this change is coming about right now?
I think the accountability groups is taking place. Second round started, and they're finally like, all right, I sucked it up on the first round of accountability groups for 6 weeks, and now we're in the second group, and now we're uncomfortable again. And more of the agents on the team are in the accountability groups, and they're like, all right, it's time to do something. So I do think it's making a difference. I have to bow to Almighty Robert for a second here and his accountability groups idea, and let him know that I actually agree that it's working.
You hear this? It's like a little kid, like who just like got spared because he listened to his parents, and he's like, "Fine, I guess you were right." Well, I gotta. When you bow to me, I'll turn around and bow to Nick McLean for just being a great coach who definitely shared a lot of wisdom, and I'm sure Nick will turn around and say Cheplak for giving facilitating so much growth in Mastermind. But honestly, accountability, I think that's something that most entrepreneurs miss, not just in real estate and everything, because entrepreneurship, being self-employed, the reality is it's arguably one of the most self-accountable careers, or titles, whatever you want to call it, that you can have. In almost every other job, even if you have a lot of freedom in that job, there's still job requirements. There's usually hours. There's deadlines. There's a lot in there that other people make for you, that if you just do the bare minimum, that check's still going to come in. While with us, we could still do everything right and a deal could fall apart. And then we have to have that self-discipline of like, okay, that's why we always tell the agents, like, you have to keep generating business. You have to. It's not, oh, I've got a bunch of Chris, Walter, you guys were in that conversation. I've got a bunch of deals going now. I'm going to wait for things to slow down. Holy goodness. Welcome to the end of your business. Because it's one thing to be like, okay, I don't want to add on a bunch of new stuff while everything I'm currently doing is working and I'm at capacity. But a lot of agents are like, oh, things are so busy. I'm really glad that it's slowing down now. And I'm like, tell me that in 2 weeks when you don't have a check.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're going to be panicking again.
That's a natural paradigm in this industry, though. Like, everybody fights with that business roller coaster. Every agent that doesn't actively prospect throughout the year that has that problem, right? They go like, I'm so busy going deals, I'm super happy. And then the moment those deals close, they realize I have nothing in the pipeline because I wasn't prospecting for the last 2 months while I was moving transactions forward. And they're constantly, I'm super excited, I'm super busy, I'm making money. Oh my gosh, I'm broke. How am I going to pay the bills? I better go get my butt together and prospect. You can fix that. You can baseline that consistency by doing a little bit of prospecting as you service your current business. Mm-hmm. It's amazing that's an industry-wide phenomenon to me that I will probably never wrap my head around. Is how do you knew how you got the business. You did something to acquire the business, and then you stopped that something to service the business, and then somehow you were surprised that when that business was done being serviced, you didn't have any more. Or you stopped doing the thing that brought you the business.
Could you imagine, like, every time like, just you're in Walmart, one person's at the checkout as you're still shopping, they check them out, the store just closes. Sorry, guys, like, we're good, right? Like, where is that coming from? Why does that happen?
It's like, the perception of at least I think it's the perception of being busy. And I use the term perception intentionally because most agents are not anywhere near as busy as they think they are. They're just not managing their day very efficiently. They're not putting things on their calendar. They're not budgeting out what they need to do. And so they feel much busier than they really are. But because they feel so busy, it's stressful, it causes anxiety, and then they get into a point where they just don't want to do the prospecting because they feel like it's too much. If they streamline their day and they put some diligence and discipline into their calendar, they wouldn't feel so busy, and they would be actively prospecting while they service business, and they wouldn't have to have those crazy roller coasters.
Completely agree. You know what I kind of relate it to is like, we all need to eat, drink water, right? Go to the bathroom. Like, there's innate things that we have to decide to go do. Can't just ignore them. I guess you can. But yeah, it's the truth, right? But the reality is like, that's how there should be certain core principles and actions in your business that you shouldn't be like, oh, I'm just not going to eat for the next 2 days. That's not logical. Can you not eat for 2 days? Yes. Is that probably healthy for you? No. Your business is the same way. When you're building your business, that new business, that nurturing of old business that creates new business, that's your food. That's your water. Sure, you can ignore it. Sure, you can say no. Sure, you can say I'm busy and I don't have time. But your body will suffer. Even if in the short term you seem fine, your body will suffer significantly. And the body of your business, if you're not feeding it, it will die.
Yep.
That's why I'm sitting over here eating.
Better drink some water now.
Yep.
Makes me thirsty.
Everybody feeling conviction about their actual health. So, Catherine, I want to hear from you with the amount of agents you've helped to onboard and what you've done in consulting. Why do you think that there's that Walter gave his perspective. So why do you think we see this so frequently in our business where an agent could get one deal, and be like, yeah, things are so busy. You've heard it, right?
Yeah. And I think for me, or for my, perspective, is they get comfortable. So you work hard, you get uncomfortable, you do these things that you need to do. And then once it starts working, you're like, oh, okay, awesome. And then you're like, so I'm doing good. So I don't necessarily need, it's okay. I can take a day off from doing this, right? You get comfortable in what you just worked your butt off to do. So you worked in the uncomfortable, but when you start to see the results, that's when a lot of people tend to slack off, right? Because they're like, oh, I want to build my business so I can not ever work and do whatever I want. When in reality, you have to go hard more in the beginning consistently to be able to build that pipeline up where you can be busy, but you can take a break or you can have people help you. And everybody wants that reward now. They don't want to wait for it 6 months to a year down the road. So when they get that one deal or those two deals, they're like, oh, I made it, right? And then they slack off. We don't realize, because of our society and the way everything is now, especially with social media and your phone in your hand, that you can have everything at a touch of the button. So you expect your business to be the same way. And so I personally feel like, and from a lot of agents that I've talked with, and even myself, in getting some things started, right? Like, I want it now. I want it now. Nobody understands that it's a long game.
It really is. It really is. I would say, this year alone, God has definitely been like, Robert, stop putting me in your timelines. It's my timeline, not yours. Because there was literally every month of this year, my wife and I were just talking about this yesterday. We were like, yeah, as soon as February's over, we're going to have a very clear picture. And then things got delayed, things changed, whatever. And then we're like, well, for sure by the end of March. And now it's freaking closing in on halfway through July, and we're like, you know what? We'd be fortunate by the end of the year we'll have any clarity on any of the things that we thought for sure by the end of February or March would be crystal clear. And then I realized the reason why I'm frustrated by that is because I was putting my timeline on it versus God's timeline. That's just the truth. For me, it was like, I just need to focus on doing the work. I don't need to worry about whether I'm one day closer or one day farther, because at the end of the day, if I am doing the work that is strategic, that is proven, that produces results, then I will always be progressing. I will always be progressing. And what do they say? Comfort kills progress. Because you were talking about comfort, and for me, I'm just like, I'm going to do these things regardless. That's why I think we've seen a huge mentality in the US, particularly, especially with the entrepreneurs, of this, I'm going to retire by 30. I'm going to retire by 35. This mentality of how quickly can I'm going to say it, it's going to be bold. How quickly can I become useless? It's a horrible mindset. How quickly can I become essentially useless? Not contribute, not give, not grow, not learn. How quickly can I check out of growing, of learning? It's a horrible mindset. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why. For me, I'm like, dang, 100 years isn't enough. I'm not even kidding. I told my wife, I'm like, I'm going for my family record, which will be 120 years. I'm gonna shoot for that. I'm gonna shoot for that, and that's still, I guarantee you, I'm gonna reach it. By the way, I'm gonna hit 119. I'll be like, what's another 50 years? I got more to do. I want to do more. I want to learn more. I want to give more. I want to grow more. And I think maybe that's part of the mindset issue that agents face, entrepreneurs, but focusing on real estate, is that they're thinking about the wrong things. They're thinking about, I got a commission check, I'm gonna go enjoy luxury, versus, don't you have a bigger plan, a bigger picture, deeper purpose in why you're in real estate? Or is it really just commission check to commission check? Is that your game plan? And I think we've discovered that for a lot of agents, that is the game plan. It's the same mentality of the people who work 9 to 5 and go, I live for the weekend. Really? So you're dead 5 days of the week because you only live for the weekend? And for a lot of them, it's true. And then when the weekend comes, what do? They kill themselves. They just distractions with other things. And it's like, how about you live for every day? That's why, Walter, you and I love to talk about how our favorite day of the week is
Mondays.
Monday.
Friday rolls around like this, and I'm just like, how fast can I get over this weekend thing so I can go crush it on Monday?
I love Monday.
Yep.
It's amazing. All right. Walter, or actually, sorry, Chris, some favorite moments of the week?
Love getting together with a team for the team event and hanging out with everybody, and then going and an impromptu ice cream trip afterwards. That was fun. That led to greater conversation and continuing to dive in on some things. There was a little bit more work stuff discussed actually at ice cream than was discussed at lunch, and some ideas that came into picture that I think will definitely help the team move forward if we can get everyone on board and that wants to work. I think that's my highlight of the week there.
Love it. Chris, why don't you share a little bit more about like what, the lunch together and things like that, like what actually happened,
I mean, everyone, I think, got to build a little bit better connections because they were just getting to know each other and hanging out rather than discussing as much about work. It was more discussing funny stories, Justin telling me stupid stuff that Mark's done over the years, or stupid stuff that Sam did last week. Like, whatever it is, we're just all having a good time, laughing and carrying on. Now we've got Amy in the mix as well. Definitely fit in well, and just kind of that was my end of the table. And then Irene and Catherine, they were great. However, they ordered some fantastic looking pizza and did not share any with me.
That's Irene's fault.
Once they were getting ready to leave, they were like, Chris, would you like a cold slice of this pizza? And I was like, Irene, would you like any more of my transactions or not? So, yeah, that's how that conversation went. And then they took the pizza home because I don't like cold pizza. I don't like cold food, period. Like, if it's cold, I don't want it.
Oh, man.
Mind you, he didn't share his burger or broccoli with us. So
I did offer.
Listen, you don't share a burger like you share pizza.
Especially
the way Chris eats his burger.
Traditionally share your broccoli.
I did.
Wait, did you say broccoli?
Nor do you traditionally eat broccoli with burgers.
Well, this is the way I look at that. This is the way I look at that. All right. If I order the burger that is probably extremely unhealthy, because it was the breakfast burger with like egg and bacon and all that crap on it, right? The hangover burger. Yeah, so I ordered that, and then I look at it, and I'm like, all right, if I'm ordering this, I probably need to counteract what I'm doing in my body with something that's healthy. So then I ordered broccoli instead of fries.
You're going to need a lot more broccoli, by the way.
Yeah, probably broccoli. Okay. But it was a step in the right direction, and then I went and got ice cream, and that counteracted everything. But there was broccoli in the mix, so there was something healthy in there.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
he can feel better about his day.
There was no pizza though, so I'm still kind of mad. So, and that's what you guys don't understand about me yet is that will be held over both of your heads for the rest of your lives.
That's his love language is
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah, my love language is giving people a hard time, actually. So the harder time I give you, usually the more I like you. So, but
I feel loved then.
yeah,
Gad's like, dang.
from
All
that,
right.
yeah. No wonder he's been giving me such a hard time. From there, though, you guys got to deal with it forever now. So remember, if you cross me and like don't share pizza or something with me, like Justin, literally last week I was at a closing. All right, get this. I go to a closing. You guys know I close with Justin all the freaking time. And on my way there, I stop and grab 2 Slim and Husky pizzas. All right. I've got Slim and Husky. It's on Medical Center. It's a pizza place. It's pretty good. So it was my first time there. Anyways, I stopped and grabbed 2 pizzas. Literally, that way I could get to closing. We've got pizza on the closing table, right? Friend, we're all sitting there. We're
grease everywhere. The pages are just...
I don't care. My closings are fun. All right. I go in, I have fun. I don't care whatever it is, whatever everybody thinks they're supposed to do. We're gonna have fun, and it's gonna be not as non-miserable of a process as signing 100 pages as can be. So that's my goal. Anyways, I get there. Mark's there as well, and we're sitting there, and Justin's like, "Oh yeah, I got barbecue from Mission Barbecue for me, and I got it for Mark, and I got it for whoever else." And I was like, "You didn't get me any barbecue, man?" He's like, I thought about it when I was going down the elevator, and then I forgot. I was like, what the heck, man? So now I get to give Justin a hard time about no barbecue for me for, however long. I showed up with pizza. So
I want everybody watching, for the record, to see that normally Chris's response are, yeah, stuff happened. But when he started talking about food, I mean, he had story after story. He was like, when I was a young lad, there was this bakery.
That's why him and Irene get along so well.
Yeah. Irene, yeah, you get her started. She'll run with it with the food.
She should have known. Share that daggone pizza.
She was close.
All right, let's do the Walter.
There's not that many of us, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's like Roberts. We've got dying names.
Yeah.
Nobody's naming their kids either of our names anymore. Thanks, parents. Now we're old.
I'm okay with it because my old name got me a free steak dinner while we're talking about food.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm cool with
All
that.
right, tell the story.
So I'll be quick. I won't be as exaggerated as Chris. So get back from we were in Japan, got back to the United States after a tour, and I go to Verizon to update my cell phone. Simple, right? So I go in. There's this young man, a little bit younger than me, and he got his name tag on. His name's Walter. And I'm like, oh, my name's Walter. What are they out to that? My name's Walter. And he was like, whoa, how old are you? I'm like, I don't even remember now but I told him, and I'm like, what month were you born? I'm like, dude, I'm here for my cell phone. So I tell him, and he's like, no way. You're 2 months younger than me. I'm like, all right. And he's like, no. I always said that if I ever met a Walter younger than me, I'd buy him dinner. I'm like, that's awesome. I need to update this phone. And we had a great conversation. Super nice guy. I didn't think anything else of it. 2 weeks later, I got a card in the mail from that young man with a gift card to the local steakhouse and like a little, like, this is what the name Walter means in German and blah, blah, blah. I was like, holy crap, dude straight up bought me steak dinner because so fast forward several years, I'm coaching some real estate agents, shocker, right? And one of them happened to be named Walter. And I was like, how old are you? And sure enough, he was like a year younger than me. I'm like, what's your favorite steakhouse out there? Because he was in Texas. I said, what's your favorite steakhouse out in Texas? And he was like, oh, there's just really good one, blah, blah, blah. Went online, ordered him a $100 gift card, mailed it right to him, like paying it forward.
Be right back. I'm going to go change my name real quick.
I'm definitely younger than you, for the record, Walter. Yeah,
But your
Oh.
You
name's
can
not
call
Walter.
me Walter.
But
yeah.
your name's not Walter.
I'm now American Walter of America.
Next Friday, everybody's gonna say Walter on theirs.
That's funny.
And then parentheses, younger than Walter Key.
Younger than Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
It's an old name,
Perfect.
right? It is an older name. Yeah.
Man, what a hilarious session
Yeah.
today, huh?
Good times.
So much food talk. It's great, and I'm also hungry.
Yes.
Yes.
Hungry.
Walter, any issues this week?
No, I wouldn't call them issues. Which I mean, I didn't fill out the form. Bad on me. I guess that was an issue.
I guess you're the issue, Walter.
The one thing that we did this week, which was again not an issue, but just fine tuning. One of our agents was looking at different referral sources, and hey, what do you think of these folks? What do you think of those folks? I don't want to pay for leads, but I'm trying to get some extra business drummed up. I'm okay with some referral stuff, and so we just sat down and we kind of talked through like some of the more well-known is not the right word, but some of the better referral partners out there that will send you, referral-based leads that aren't just absolute crap, and you're not paying them in advance, you're not paying them every month, just a basic referral. So we fine-tuned some of that, which was great. They're proactively out there trying to get more business, build more relationships to do more business in the future. So that was a lot of fun, just having a good conversation.
Love it. Favorite moments of the week?
Seeing the pictures of the get-togethers, honestly, like I'm out. I didn't have any get-togethers that day, so I was just sitting around going, I didn't get any pizza or ice cream.
Yeah,
but it was great to see the team together out there socializing. It's people get so focused on the grind, right? Like, gotta close deals. They forget that we say it all the time, right? It's a relationship business. It's not about brick and mortar. It's not about transactions. It's not about houses. It's about people and what do they need? And we all need to build those relationships. But sometimes we get so focused on the client side of it that we forget, like, we're all people too. So it's nice to see that. It's nice to see a team that actually gets together and just pours into each other on a casual basis. It's on the relationship side.
Love it. Catherine, any issues?
I don't know that it's really any issues. Something that I noticed with some of the agents across the board, like I noticed in the Carbon Club and some people that I had spoke with as well, was just, and I actually made a video about it, was the focus, or just like random things, seem to be popping up over the last like week or so. And it just seems like it's been throwing everybody off on their game. I personally like to blame it on the full moon. But it was something that I had quite a few conversations with people about, just like last minute things coming up to just like completely destroy what it is they already had planned or what they had in mind or which direction that they were going. So that was something that I dealt with. And then, as far as fixing it, it's not necessarily something that you can fix, but you can correct how your mind sees it. And so that was something that I talked about in my video as well, is, maybe if collectively a lot of us are seeing that there's a lot of things that are like stopping us or wanting us to pivot, maybe there's a reason for it. So have you thought about, like, maybe this wasn't supposed to go through because you're not supposed to work with that person, or maybe this didn't happen because you're not supposed to go that direction. Like, maybe that is a wall put there on purpose because it's letting you know that that's not actually what you want to do. So you should probably go around and go this way. Right. So that was quite a few conversations that I had this week regarding that, and just changing how you see it and understanding that it's not that things are falling apart. It's just that things are wanting you to pivot to put you in a better place of where you want to be.
That's awesome. Couldn't agree more too. I think there's a very healthy amount of self-reflection and humility that we all need, because so many of us think that we know the right answers and we always are on the right path, when really kind of reminds me of Bruce Lee. You know how he says, be like water. Be like water. And when water finds a rock, it splits and it goes around the rock. It finds a new path. It keeps moving forward, and it doesn't really let things stop it. And I think when you look at some of the most successful people in our industry, they're people who keep adapting and growing. They're people who are night and day different than they were when they first started. or they were a couple of years ago. I mean, I watch a lot of these people, that I see in the industry that I think are absolute amazing leaders. And I'm looking at them and I'm going, wow, look at them. That guy said he would never do video 2 years ago, and now he does a video a day. Wow. Look at him. Look at him do that. That guy, looking at myself, said, I'm not going to go to lunch with people. I got work to do. And then realized it's not about me, right? It's about the relationships, and that social interaction is so important. So you know what I'm going to do? I am going to go to lunch. I am going to go spend that quality time with people and realize that it holds more value than I personally saw at first. And you have to be fluid like that. You really do. Kat, you got some favorite moments of the week?
Yeah, so the team, obviously, that was a lot of fun, and getting to meet a couple more people that I haven't seen in person yet. So that was a lot of fun. And I realized that we are just over our 6 months of starting the team. So that was actually a really cool thing to see, like where we started and where the idea came from, and just having the conversation to seeing where we are now. So being able to reflect on that and seeing that, seeing how we are moving forward and how people are growing and what's going on with the agents and stuff like that has been really cool to see where we started and where we're at now.
Heck yeah. Couldn't agree more. I think it's been really interesting to see the growth for all of us, agents on the team, leadership. I think one thing I'm really proud of us for is, even though Chris made a joke earlier about bow down to Robert, accountability groups, it's actually a really wonderful quality for us to see in Chris as a leader, because what he's really saying is, I listened. Even if I didn't agree, I wanted to try every avenue I could to better serve those that I promised I would serve. And so it's silly and we laugh about it, but at the end of the day, it's a quality that's actually really hard to find. It's really hard to find someone that goes, I don't agree with it, but let's try. Let's try it anyway.
Yeah.
I want to see if there's value. I don't see it right now, but I'm willing to see. I'm willing to try to find the value. And I think we've seen that with all of us, is that we keep adapting and growing and say, you know what, let's try this then. Let's work on that. Ooh, that seems to be going good. Can we make it better? And we keep discovering more things, Agents will come and go. Some will think about leaving. Some will chase shiny objects. But the more that we focus on the value that we bring, the clarity that we bring, the support we bring, the right agents are going to attach themselves to those things. They're going to be anchors that keep them in the harbor that they want to be in. And so, I personally, it was really interesting to see on Wednesday when we all had lunch, to see an agent who the week prior was thinking about leaving, to be sitting there enjoying everybody's company and finding out that they were actually doing even more now with the team and the team's partners. And I was like, wow, that is so awesome. And I didn't know. All I knew was that I just have to focus on the value that I bring, being honest, being fair, being supportive, and helping them, and still connecting them to resources, still not giving up on them, but doing the same thing like we talked about, right? Eat, drink water, like take care of yourself, take care of the team. What does that mean? That means as long as they're on the team, they're going to keep getting resources. They're going to keep getting support, even if they're questioning, well, should I go over there? They said they're going to do this for me. That's fine. If you go, you go. But until you go, you're on the team, and I'm going to support you. And I'm going to keep giving you the resources that I promised. I'm not going to start, because what would that do, right? Like, I'm basically pushing them out the door, when for all we know, it could have just been them trying to reason it through. There's a lot of garbage, misleading marketing out there. In fact, Walter, Chris, you were in that conversation with a particular agent who was like, yeah, I joined a team. They promised me 20 deals a year. 6 months later, he had 4 from those. And he's like, and it's getting slower and slower. And I'm like, to be honest, anybody who's promising you deals, doesn't know how this business works. They can't promise themselves deals. They can't do that. All you can do is I promise I'll teach you the habits that will produce results. We'll see how much those results, they will produce results, but we'll see how much and how often, and we'll adapt and we'll grow. But I think of all those lead gen services out there. We're going to book you 100 appointments a month. And I'm like, first of all, how? And then second of all, what's the quality? What are you saying? What's the vetting process? Then you find out, like, so many of them, it's manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's manipulation.
Play on words.
Yeah. So I'd have to say, like, some of my favorite moments of the week are the accountability groups and just seeing the consistency of people growing. That's really awesome. To see people who missed out on the first one being overly committed on this one, like just really like, I'm in it. I loved seeing everybody in person. That was really nice. And it was nice for me to get to spend time just enjoying each other's company. We spent a lot of time working strategies, process, refinement. But getting to spend some time together, I think, is important. And so that was awesome. I think, one of my favorite moments is Sam. Shout out to Sam. While we were at the restaurant, he came over and sat down next to me and he said, "Listen, I've been thinking about what you said about a logo and branding myself as Sam the Landman." And I felt like a parent, like, you're coming to me for help? Yes! Like, I'm so excited. Like, because he's so talented. He's really good at what he does. And he's already got this brand that's building. And you guys know, how long have I been telling him over and over again? And then he started doing it. So that's why I'm complimenting him. Then he started using a hashtag, Sam the Landman. He started saying it out loud for people to hear it. And then to him to come over and be like, yeah, I'm going to make a logo now that kind of centers around that brand. And I was like, dang, that's what I'm talking about. Let's do this. Like, it felt really good to know that he knew he could come to me to keep helping him further along in this journey. So that's probably one of my favorite moments, honestly. Yeah, it was pretty great.
I told you he's coming around. I told you.
She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Oh, we talking about
to Shelby?
Huh?
Talking to Shelby?
What?
Shelby. Talking about Shelby. We have Shelby partnered with us.
Oh, yeah.
Shelby.
Oh,
Shelby coming around.
I was like,
he wasn't getting that one. Yeah.
We're talking about Sam, but
I know.
Okay.
He said Shelby coming around the mountain.
Yep. Nope. I was lost too.
Yeah, this is one of the harder parts of the team, guys, just so you know.
Hey.
Words mean things.
It's translating whatever language Chris speaks into English.
You said it, not me.
Oh, man. I'm waiting for you to bring all the Southern sayings, like something or something, catfish in a frying pan.
I don't think that's Southern. Most people put catfish in a frying pan.
Walter, I don't need you to say that. Get out.
So, speaking of fish, there's a really interesting Spanish saying, and it translates, "I know you codfish, even though you're in disguise." It's basically how most people like in America we say something like, "I know what you're up to," or I see behind what you're doing. It's the Spanish version of that conversation, but actually translated into English, it's "I know you codfish, even though you're in disguise." I don't know why that's always stuck with me all these years after learning Spanish when I was like 15.
I love it.
That's interesting.
It's
Put that in a frying pan.
Sorry, I have to, every time my wife messages me, because over the next few weeks she's due any day, I'm like, read the message, make sure that she's not like, hey, we need to go. Yeah, so where were we? My brain went straight to
catfish and frying pans.
Catfish, there we go. Catfish and frying pans.
Priorities, Robert. Priorities. It's okay.
What?
The priorities. It's okay.
Yeah, like seriously. I'm like always like my brain. I see a message from her. I'm like,
Yeah.
Everything good? Okay, we're good. We're good. Baby number 2.
Was the last baby right on time?
No, early.
Early? Okay, yeah. So
Ah.
even more. Yeah.
Yeah. She was 10 days or 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
Early.
So you're right in that window of like it could happen.
We're,
I've seen
we're
this
in the
before.
we're in the
I've
we're
seen
in the
this happen
10-day
before.
window.
We're close. We're close. I think my wife said like Tuesday will be at that window. I think you know,
Nice.
it's a whole different language and the timelines are weird. I don't
That's super
understand it.
exciting.
But yeah, it's like it's getting there. So I'm like,
I feel like
okay,
you didn't
all right.
announce. I feel like you didn't announce that you were expecting until like a month ago.
That's maybe
Yeah.
I didn't, but I feel like I've been saying this for like forever.
Maybe 2 months ago. I don't know. It's not been that
Maybe.
long ago. It was after. I mean, it was after Riley was born. She was born in March, middle of March. So it's only been
Maybe
like a
few
month and
months.
a half
Yeah.
since you told everybody, Robert. So I feel like it like came on quick.
Yeah, we have a super baby.
Yeah.
It's meta baby.
Meta baby.
Oh gosh.
He's
Yeah.
got an NFT that's minting new babies.
Robert was holding it in. He's like, I'm just going to tell everybody 2 months before this thing's due.
This thing.
Well, we don't know if it's a boy. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Did you tell
It's a
me?
boy.
It's a boy. Okay. Hey, it's a boy.
Mini me.
Yeah.
So we didn't know.
Call
So I
him
got,
mini me.
I got used to calling ours it because I didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. So I didn't know what to say. Like he.
Oh
or
yeah,
she
you
or
waited.
we waited. So I was so used to just not knowing.
That's crazy. No.
Yeah.
No, that ain't
I think that would drive me bonkers.
right.
Yeah.
But it's Chris, right? He likes to just, you know, wait to
It
put the
wasn't
fish in
my
the frying
idea.
pan.
Yeah. Bless your heart.
It was a
Bless
challenge.
your
It was a challenge.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. So, I've been seeing more and more with agents across the states, price shifts.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys seeing? What are you hearing?
I love seeing these top agents that like think they're the absolute crap do price drops. That's my favorite. I love it. It's like so exciting watching them have to do price drops. It's great. I love getting their emails. Price improvement. Bullshit. Not an improvement. Not an improvement for your sellers. Don't tell them that
Who
they're going
came up with that anyway? Price improvement.
Yeah, make it sound good.
You know, it's so silly.
I love
It's
it.
like the whole like, let's put it on the market for $399.99. Like,
No, I hate that.
like
That stuff drives me crazy.
I'm not shopping at Walmart for a Snickers. Here,
that's
but
what I'm saying. It's
come on
not
now.
the same, guys. Like, nobody's looking at that and being like, well, you know, I couldn't afford $350, but I can afford $349.99.
Yeah.
Get out.
Guaranteed to not increase the likelihood of the home selling.
Yeah,
Also guaranteed to not show up in as many search engines.
exactly right. I have that conversation with every single seller.
Yeah.
If we're close to a price bridge, we're putting you at it. I don't care what the comps say. 15 up, 15 down, doesn't matter. 400 is always better than 399.9.
Yeah,
$1 million is always better than 9,990.
Yeah.
I was
Right?
told at first.
More than double your buyer pool, put more eyes on your property, get the freaking house sold for more money.
When I started first in real estate, I had some. I tried to be really humble and listen to the wisdom of my elders, in the business, and some of them told me stuff like that, right? Like, go and hand your business card to everybody, hang out at Home Depot on the weekends, and buy a random item and talk to people in the shopping line, right? When you list it on the MLS, if it's worth 400, put it at 399. And I was doing that until like, I did it all because I didn't want to be that guy who came in, had no experience, and said, "You don't know what you're talking about," right? Like, but then I sat back and I was like,
That doesn't make sense.
go look at the MLS. They're not selling faster or slower, but they are having a more limited reach, like we've talked about. It does limit the reach, which tells me whoever told them that doesn't know even how their own MLS search engine works. You know what it is? It's someone who used to sell products. They used to sell products, and then they came into real estate, opened up a brokerage, and created this mindset of like, basically it's like tricking people.
People are stupid though. That's the problem. Maybe 40 years ago that sales tactic would have worked. People aren't dumb.
Yeah.
90% of buyers are online shopping before they ever talk to their agent. So if I'm on Zillow, I'm on Realtor, I'm on whatever, pick your favorite spot. I'm not shopping between 372.5 and 397.9. That's not how people shop for homes.
Yeah.
Nope. Price your house how people shop for homes. Come on.
It's also not how a lot of search engines work. I mean, if you look at certain search engines that have drop-down menus, that's not how they work.
Increments,
that's right.
Exactly right. You can't even pick a weird price, which is because nobody wants one. If everyone wanted 397.9, the drop-down would absolutely give you an option for 397.9.
That would be a really funny website to create. Like, it's not
just
on
all random prices, all random integers.
Like, people put in the prices and it just gives them whatever is available.
That would be hilarious.
It's like my price is between 400 and 500, and they send $1 million properties.
Well, I was more thinking like 402.97 and 683.
Just random.
That's your metrics on the search.
Do you know though? I bet Walter knows this because he's read the book. Do you know where having odd amounts of numbers does work really well?
Yes.
Casinos.
Psychologically.
Yes, absolutely.
Casinos. I know. Definitely casinos.
Negotiation.
Of course.
If you're negotiating for your client, an odd, very random, very specific number absolutely works.
Mm-hmm.
When your buyers are shopping for properties, throw that crap out the window. It ain't time to negotiate. But absolutely, it's great for negotiations. Absolutely.
Yeah. Part of the reason why is that, in fact, it complements what we were just saying. People shop in increments. They negotiate in increments as well. So if you give them an increment, let's say it's $5,000 under, right? You're negotiating for your client $5,000 under. That's an increment. It's a rounded number. And they're going to incrementally negotiate. Is that a word? Incrementally? It sounds like it. Incrementally negotiate back to you in an increment. But the moment that you're like $4,872.52, they're like, I don't know how to respond to that now.
Yeah.
It's not an increment, and it makes them feel that that's your last. Like, that's your last penny.
That's it. That's the best you can do.
All you've got.
That works great in the financial coaching world as well. If someone's trying to settle an old account, or they got a medical bill that's in collections and they're trying to get that paid off, that works really good in that case as well. Like, listen, I can send you $3,127 if we can clear this thing right now. That's I can send it to you tomorrow. That's what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
3,720. That's oddly specific. That must be everything they have.
Yeah,
absolutely works.
And never start with that. Pro tip: you never start with that. It's basically like when you're narrowing down a search area, and you start with this big area, and then it gets closer, and then once you're like, okay, we're pretty much there. I don't think we can really get. Then you go, here's where I'm at, and you have to mean it too. Yeah. Like, it's not just a tactic to manipulate people. It's like, let's say that you could go 5,000 over and that's it. You're going to work your way up to try and see if you have the luxury, by the way, I'm telling everybody, if you have the luxury of negotiating, you're going to work your way up to see that you don't have to pay any more than that 5,000. But if you start hitting, okay, we're going to pay 5,000, let's say that, then you might come back with $4,967.42. It's your absolute. This is it. We're done going back and forth. This is my last straw, because there's no point.
I always like to add a niner.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So that you can say niner?
Yeah, so you can say niner.
Yeah. That's exactly why.
Makes sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me.
Throw a niner in there.
So when I count,
the niner works every time. When
I count, I say niner every single time I'm counting.
Please don't. You're joking, right?
Like to myself, not the clients, not the people. Like
oh,
just
thank goodness.
habit. Like every morning after my run, I'll stretch, and so I'll count in my head because 21 years
Niner.
So I'll do that. I won't say niner every integer, but when
I don't know how people who say niner count.
When I'm at 9, I say niner, and I only do it because it increases the interval between the next word, and I make sure that I stretch long enough. But it's just so much. It's habit now. Like I get you, Chris. Totally got you. Of course, sometimes I'll also say silly stuff like I'll pronounce my numbers just like you would if you were speaking through a radio. So instead of 5, I'll say fife because that's how it comes through the radio waves properly, so the other side can hear you without any confusion. I'll say tree instead of 3 because it comes to the. These are the things you pick up in the 21 years in the Navy, man, doing weird things.
I'm
and
sure.
It's just stuck there, so I'll still.
I was thinking Tommy Boy, but whatever.
And then, no, definitely not Tommy Boy.
All right, so prices. We've seen some price drops. I mean, we've all got different people on our network, and some of us cover different areas. So, Walter in Florida, what are you seeing in your market with price drops, price shifts, things like that?
So Florida's a hot market. Obviously, it's 300,000.
Yeah, I mean, you're right by Orlando, right?
Florida. I'm not. I'm a little bit northeast. Tyler's right there in Orlando, but Florida in general is a pretty hot market. But even in a super hot market in Florida, this is the truth. It always has been. It always will be. You can still overprice a house even in a really hot market.
Yeah.
So we are starting to see some houses price reduce, not improve, reduce. We're starting to see a little bit longer days on market on the homes that were already overpriced, and now they're behind that power curve. Here's the thing I think will happen, though, and it's just Walt Key's opinion, and you can disagree with me. Scientifically, that means you're wrong, but you can do it. In the next 3 to 6 months, all of this, oh my gosh, the prices are dropping. No, they're not. Prices aren't dropping. Mm-mm. Overpriced homes are adjusting. Yep. Mm-hmm. The real estate price, median sales price is not going down. Currently overpriced homes that now have to shift are shifting.
Right.
In 3 to 6 months, things are going to level back out, and we're not going to see a year-over-year price decrease.
That's right. In trading, we call that a price correction.
Yep.
Where it was incorrect.
Yeah, and now it's getting back to normal. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are seeing some price reductions right now. We are seeing some longer days on market right now. But really, it's for the ones that were already pushing the – like, I hate it when an agent does that. We're like, well, the stats say this. Let's go here. No, just the opposite. If the stats say here, go to the lower range because you'll produce more value. You'll produce more offers. You'll sell for higher anyway. So those that went way to the – wow, we can push –
yeah,
those are the ones that are making those adjustments right now because they didn't sell because they got caught in the shift.
Right. And also it's more cheap sales tactics, right? Yeah. It's really, really poor attempts to get a listing over someone else. Well, Chris and I specifically know exactly what it looks like when someone has agents who use money in grandiose prices not backed by market data to oversell. And then what happened, Chris? I mean, what happened?
It sits for months and then it gets reduced.
Is your name Chris?
It can be. I mean, he said his name was Walt, so I can be Chris.
Is it opposite day again? But
they sit or they reduce.
Yeah.
Whether that's the agent's fault, which we have seen, which we did land some listings from agents who were overpricing things.
Yeah.
And then
I had their broker helping them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and then I've also had, listings that were priced the same, that I come in and price the same, and then they've had them for 6 months and I sell them in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I've had the same thing happen, but I also spend money on good listing photos and
marketing matters
that need to happen in order to market.
You also have an extensive reach.
When I can get more showings in 2 weeks than the other agent got in 6 months, there's a problem. Not with me.
Yeah, I think it's. I actually really love the listing right now. Is a great case and example, right? Because not only were there no under contracts on it for months, right? Months, like 2 months or something.
Yeah.
But what's funny is we came in, proved what we could do, got it under contract super quick. Contract fell through, happens. Got it under contract again, as if that isn't proof enough that
At the
went
same
through.
price, at list, both times.
Yes, that's
At
important
list,
too. That's right.
both
No
times.
price improvements.
In about 48 hours, both times.
That's right. No price improvements because there was no price to improve.
Yeah, it was the right price to begin with.
The right price.
Yeah.
And we had the right strategies, and we reached out, and like that is a huge difference. If one, or actually it was two agents can't get it under contract in 2 months, and really all credit goes to you, Chris, after we got the listing. So, but one agent can come in and get it under contract twice in less than a month.
And 3 showings total.
Yeah.
There's a difference. It's funny. I saw someone the other day, the hate around real estate agents, which a lot of them, I get why they feel the way they do. And they're like, I hate real estate agents. I can't stand them. All they do is open a couple doors and then want to take a huge percentage of your profit as a homeowner. And I'm like, you know what? To an extent, there are a lot of agents who want exactly that. How little work can I do? And then there's agents who day in and day out build their value for their clients and actually do get them more money, actually do save them from the liability sections, from poor negotiation tactics. It's like there's so many clients who sold to Open Door thinking they were getting a better deal because the initial offer from Open Door was 20 grand more than an agent said they could get.
And they pay 12% in fees.
Then they pay 12% in fees. They have repair costs. They're at the whim of Open Door. And whenever Open Door decides to close, that's when they'll close. And people sell themselves short. And agents are a lot to blame for this because they don't see the value of an agent. They go hurt themselves when literally even a moderately decent, not even a great agent would still probably have been a more profitable option for them in that scenario. And so I definitely see that a lot.
I've called sellers before and I get them on the phone and they're like, oh yeah, I've got a friend that's an agent. They told me to call Open Door and call Mark Spain and try to get a guaranteed offer instead of me listing it for him. And if I couldn't do that, they said they'd list it. So I'm planning to list with them. If I can't get the Open Door or a guaranteed offer, I'm like, why would you list with that agent? They've already told you they don't want to work.
They also give you bad
advice. They already
advice.
tried to pawn you off on somebody.
They're already giving you bad advice, right? I'm like, why would you want to work with them? But the thought process there doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Those are always sellers that want top dollar too. They think they're going to come in and Open Door is going to give them absolute top dollar with no money to be made.
Yeah.
For Open Door, I'm like, well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, like, do you not understand? Like, Open Door does not care about you.
Yeah,
and I'm not even insulting Open Door. It's a corporation.
Yeah, you're good. Comp show 300. I want 310. There's still plenty of room to make money though. That's what they tell me. I'm like, no, there's not. Comps are 300, bud. So if you want 310, we can possibly get it on the MLS, but you're not going to get it out of Open Door.
Yep.
Yeah.
And trust me, Open Door will find a way to bring that 300 way down.
Down to 240.
You ain't making 300. They are not paying anywhere near 300. I don't care how high they set it, right? Like you're lucky if you're one of the few who got to take advantage of Zillow's rambunctious, wild thing before they shut it down.
Before they lost hundreds of billions of dollars being stupid.
Right. Because that's
had to
the
lay
real
off a quarter of their workforce because they didn't know what they were doing.
That's luck right there. Because people like Open Door who are still open, it's because they know their numbers.
Right.
Mark Spain knows his numbers. He's not a joke. He knows his numbers, and he's not going to ever lose money.
Mark Spain doesn't actually buy them. He sells them to Open Door.
I know a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
It's like every other industry. The circle of wealth is very, very small.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
is. Would you look at that? 9:00. Man, we had a blast. A question for everybody who's watching this: what is pricing looking like in your market? Are you seeing a lot of price improvements, which I would prefer to call corrections? Are you seeing that in your market? Do you think you're seeing more than just price corrections? Do you think you're seeing a shift? Do you see prices going down overall? I want to emphasize overall, not just a random sporadic. It was a $500,000 home that was on the market for $700,000, and now it's down to $500 again. That's not right. That is price correction. That's healthy. It's good. What are you seeing in your market? I want to know. Leave a comment. It'd be really cool to hear from different people in different places. We will be back here next Friday, 8 a.m. Central, talking about teams, markets, something
Food,
about a catfish in a
names,
frying pan.
Catfish, codfish.
Catfish,
All of it.
codfish, like
All of it.
someone's in disguise. I don't even. There's just a lot that happens here. So we'll see you next week. Leadership, thanks for being here.
Yep. Have a great weekend.
That's just for you,
Hey,
pizza.
hey.